Aloha, good morning everybody. Phil Laguerre, Remax Aloha Homes. Welcome to the Phil's Walking Around the Neighborhood show this morning. Having trouble with Facebook Live, so I thought I'd do a little video recording instead and put that up on YouTube and pass around the link. So this is hole number 8 at Hoakalei. It's Monday morning, about 6:30 in the morning. I've been out on my morning walk about a half an hour now, and I'm ended up here at number 8 at Hoakalei, just to give you a view of what's going on. You hear a lot of vehicles behind me coming in. That's the entrance to the construction site at Hoakalei, where they're building the world's largest wave pool, which is pretty much over that direction there. You'll be able to surf, stand-up paddleboard, whatever you want inside that wave pool. It's going to be so big. Supposedly the world's largest. A couple of world champion surfers, father and son, are part of the business of it, building it. So it should be pretty awesome. The lagoon itself, 52 acres of lagoon, public use, will offer stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, outrigger racing, things of that nature. There'll be bars, restaurants, and some shops kind of central around the wave pool and out along by the ocean. There's going to be walkway, bike paths built all around that area, all the way from the very end by Barber's Point, White Plains, back way over that direction to Howbush. So it'll be a much nicer area when it's all done. There'll be some resort properties as well. And the news, I guess good news for homeowners over here in Hoakalei like me, the value of our homes will increase when all this stuff gets put in. It promises to be like another Ko'olina, maybe even better. Without the open ocean lagoons that Ko'olina has, which are really nice, by the way. These will be internal lagoons. You get seawater coming in underneath the rocks, but they're not open like they are at Ko'olina. How about that sunrise, huh? Isn't that pretty? The rose color haze. That's on the west direction, so it's coming from the sunrise, which is over there, over by Diamond Head in that direction. This is number 18. I played those black tips right there yesterday with a couple of friends. Got to play with Navy Admiral and his Command Master Chief, Tim and Mike. I won't say your last names. Enjoyed playing with you guys. Really appreciated the company, and hope you guys enjoyed yourselves yesterday. But we played the final hole, 18, from the black tips, black tees. That is 608 yards, and I think it might have been a mistake from what I heard. People were really happy with their game up until that point, and then playing from the tips there really can humble you when it adds 150 yards or so onto your yardage. We're crossing over the little road. You might hear the Hawaii state bird here crowing any minute. There's one lives right down in here. Heard him a few minutes ago. Yep, I see him running around down there. So they're bringing in loads of concrete today. Gonna be filling in more areas, building it up. I'm gonna walk around between these townhomes here and then go over by number 9, so you can see some of the construction that's going on just on the other side over there. You might see that rooster walking around. He's actually walking this direction. We'll see if he comes any closer. But there he is. Yeah, they're beautiful birds, but golly, noisy in the morning. Yeah, give me a break. If I lived here and I heard that in the morning, that growing, I think I might have to be tempted to get something like an airsoft. Oh, he's quiet right now. That's good. Yeah. Hawaii has this free range birds all over the place, and we have a problem with feral cats, chickens and roosters running around wild everywhere. Truly free range. And homeless. Lots and lots and lots of homeless people. I mean, that's kind of, I can put up with the others, but that's kind of sad that we do have the homeless issue. And we support the Hawaii Food Bank and the veterans group who try to help out veterans that are homeless, the vet group that we belong to. But the food bank just provides food for anybody in need. There's a food pantry. There's a number of those organizations. Some good work done by several churches as well here in Hawaii, but just hard to stem the tide on all the displaced and homeless people. And I kind of always joke, because I shouldn't, but I always joke that if I was going to be homeless, Hawaii would be the place, because of the weather. You can go live out on one of the beaches and fish for your food and hang out in a tent, get a saltwater bath every day. We saw a pretty big homeless problem in Anchorage. We lived up there, not nearly as much as here. And that was one specific group of indigenous Americans who they don't have that gene that can process alcohol, and they become alcoholics right away and addicted. You just find them laying on the street on top of grates, the heater grates, in front of store shops, trying to stay warm. And Anchorage PD had a big job of picking up homeless people off the street before they froze to death in the wintertime. So I would not want to be homeless in Alaska. Beautiful as Alaska is. But hey, let's look at that sunrise over there coming up through the clouds. This is number 9 going along here. And on the other side of the water is number 16. It goes, the tee box is way over there, goes down to there. It's a narrow, fairly narrow hole, but not much trouble, because there's plenty of room up on the hill there by those homes. And then you can't really see it, but on this side of the water and below the chips and coral, there, the brown color stuff, there's hole number 17, and the tee box is over there, and the green is right there. It's a par 3. So you have a par 4 across the water, then come back over here to par 3, and then you drive down the cart path here to the other side to number 18 that I showed you. So here's the parking lot for all the scrapers and diggers and pushers and packers equipment. And they've been working on this side for quite a while, building this up. You see it's built up about 8 feet or so. And they were sloping the edges here. Like you see, it's about a 45-degree angle. They were packing that in and sloping it down as they kept building up in the middle. So I guess they've got it fairly level. They're getting there and they're filling it all in. I'm not sure exactly what's going to go right here, but what I've been told is more of these. So we're going to have townhomes along this row here on this side. Could be a parking lot for all I know, but that's what I've heard. The plans have changed here so many times. I'm not really sure what all is going in other than the big stuff like the wave pool. That's the sunrise, and Diamond Head is down that direction towards the east. These townhomes are in the 800s now. This is a Hoakalei development. Hoakalei is the name of the construction company, the developer that built all these townhomes and all the homes that you see on my walk, including our own. Well, since I didn't get video coming out of the house this morning, and I started today kind of where I usually finish or get ready to finish. We'll walk back over towards the house and I'll show you a little bit of the neighborhood. So these townhomes here, probably in the 700s. The ones right on the golf course, creeping up into 800. The median price of a single family home in the month of August was $1,050,000. Now it hit that million mark in the month of August for the median price single family homes. Let that sink in. And I think the market kind of shook when everyone saw that, when that was published. And I am expecting the September numbers to come out today. And I suspect the number might be a little down from that. And I don't know if it sustained it, the $1 million mark, or if it increased, but it's been a steady increase for the last 6 months or more. Probably since the beginning of the year, there's been an increase every single month in the median prices of both single-family homes and condos. Condos were at $500,000, the median price. But the market could have went into sticker shock seeing that. And in September, we didn't see as much frenzy over buying homes as we had in August and July and June, the previous months. In fact, the offers on the homes that I had on the market in September, I had two, were few. They were at or over asking, but they were very few. You know, just a couple. Whereas homes we had on the market in earlier months, 15, 20 offers over asking. Quite a bit of competition or bidding wars were going on. So I think anyway, the market's starting to flatten out. We hit the peak. That's just my thought. We hit the peak in August. And while we may not do a huge landslide down in the down market, but I think we'll maybe see it flattening out and returning to something more normal. Some of the real estate experts are predicting 4% increase next year. And in our high months this year, we saw, believe it or not, 17% increase in home values. Plus the days on market were very short. Average during the frenzy about 8 days on the market. And I have to say both of my listings that I had on the market in September did go within a week. Went into escrow on the latest one in 12 days, but that's only because I delayed the escrow just a little bit. We put it up as coming soon for about 4 days or so, 5 days, and then once it actually went active, we had an offer in hand 3 days later. So now we're down in my neighborhood. Oh, since I'm walking here, show you, we just passed the swim club. So Hoakalei Kamakana at Hoakalei has a set of tennis courts, has a fitness center, and a community pool. And then a park green space out front, and there's a number of green spaces scattered out throughout the neighborhood here. So for your HOA fee, which is pretty low, it's $230 a month, you get use of all of that, plus garbage pickup, plus common area maintenance. And this common area here doesn't look so good right now because they dethatched it about a month ago, so all this stuff is, grass is just starting to come back. So it doesn't look all that good, but they do a pretty good job of maintaining the common areas. Plus, for the $230 a month, you get cable and internet and a phone line. Not bad at all. One of the lowest HOA fees anywhere around here. Not sure how they got it so low, because the newer construction homes, like the one we have listed over in Hoakalei, newer home than these ones, HOA fees double mine, and they're tiny places. This is the hacienda. This is our home. I was bragging about using a power washer down here, and I got rid of a lot of the black crap that was staining the concrete. It's my eagle that Hatsumi Sensei gave to me when we lived in Japan a few years ago. He's my martial arts grandmaster, for people that don't know. He got this eagle given to him just a couple days before I arrived in Japan on a surprise visit. I was there basically visiting the command that I was going to take over a few months later. I had gotten orders to Japan, and so they allowed me to go over for a site visit ahead of the PCS move. And I showed up at Hombu to tell Sensei, hey, great news, I got orders to come back to Japan. I'll be living at Yokota Air Base. And he had just opened up the new dojo, the new Hombu dojo. It had moved down about a block away from where the old one was, because the train station, they were building a new entry, exit, and parking. So they had to move or demolish his dojo that had been there for quite a while and move it or rebuild it about a block away, still along the train tracks, but just away from the station itself. And he had gotten this like within a couple of days of opening that new dojo, and then I showed up a couple of days after that, and he said, wow, I just got this, you just showed up and you got orders back to Japan, so this must be for you. So it originally did not have the gold beak or the white head, but he thought he decided to give it to me and then paint that, and we've let it sit out in the sun, in the weather for the last few years, so it's seen better days maybe, but that was the idea behind it. He thought he would paint it a bald eagle because it was me. Anyway, that's a cool fact, fun fact for people that might be watching that are in the Bujinkan, the same martial art I'm in. Let's go back in my neighborhood backyard. So this is a fig tree. It's an experiment, see if I can get a fig tree to grow in a big pot. There's some of my solar panels, command center there. This is a lime tree that we got gifted from our next door neighbors when they left. And an interesting story is this lime tree originally belonged to Mary and Wayne, who lived in this house that we bought from. But when they sold the home to us, they gave this tree to the next door neighbor. And the next door neighbor was renting, and Scott and Lisa, when they left a couple years later, about a year or so ago, they thought they would return the tree to the home where it came from. So they gave it back to us. So that's how we ended up getting it. This is a grapefruit. That's another lime tree. I bought this one before getting that one. Had I known we were going to inherit that one, I would probably not have bought this one, but that's a lime tree. And this is a lemon tree. And they're all fairly, those three are fairly new, so they're not going to bear fruit right away. This is the backyard. This is a monkey pod dining table, basically, that we have set out in our lanai. There's my beer machine, so I can have 4 taps going at the same time. I keep kegs of beer. I brew beer and I'll put them in kegs and then put them on CO2 and stick them in that keezer there that Chris Favre helped me build a couple years ago in Japan. Now it's here. These are some Malabar chestnuts. I'll show you a Malabar chestnut tree here in a minute. These came off a tree in our backyard, fell on the ground, so I'm letting them air out just a little bit, and then I'll roast them and shell them. They taste really good. It tastes kind of like peanuts. These are some of our aloe plants. We give an aloe plant to a new homeowner whenever they buy a home. I leave one in the house for them. And this is a cacao tree. This is where chocolate comes from. Here's the mother of all aloe plants right there. That is a pineapple plant. Next door neighbor gave this to us and peeled it off and said that the bottom of it will grow roots into the ground and just water it occasionally. So we're checking that out. By the way, this is a turmeric I got from 21 Degrees Cacao Farm. They have turmeric that they grow that they use in food. And I didn't know, but that is a flower. I didn't know that turmeric had flowers. Interesting, right? So moving around the yard, this is Malabar chestnuts. This is what they look like on the tree. This is a pretty large tree for a yard. And basically when these guys are ready, they fall on the ground and they split open. And I'll show you, those are some remnants of the shell. And when it falls on the ground, and then usually each one of those has 13 and 15 actual nuts inside. So it's pretty neat. And I just like using everything in the yard that the yard gives me. We inherited that tree. Even the previous owner didn't know what it was. This is some bell peppers trying to grow here in the yard. Varying degrees of success. I need to spray them so the mites don't get them. This is a Carolina Reaper pepper tree. Yes, they have produced some really hot red peppers that I have in the refrigerator. Trying to figure out if I'm going to actually eat them or not. This is another cacao and another cacao. Cacao have taproots, and unfortunately about a foot below the grass here is coral bed. Not sure, these are experiments seeing if they'll actually grow here in this environment, if they'll be able to tap down through the coral bed and find enough nourishment or whatever to grow the tree. This one seems to be growing the best. That one, this one's constantly struggling. And this guy here has grown slightly. You'll see these are some brand new leaves growing on there. So we'll keep at it, see how they go. I have to spray them a lot too because of mites. This is the third avocado tree that I've tried to grow here, and this one seems to be going really good. First two got brown leaves no matter where I put them to hide them from the sun, and then I found out that the leaves turn brown because of bugs, so I had to start spraying it as well. This is calamansi fruit. They believe the tree is called a calamandine tree. My Filipino friends will correct me on that. Probably wrong, but you see the fruit starting to turn orange color. This is a miniature orange from the Philippines that grows, people grow here in Hawaii, grows quite well. And last but not least, I got my mother of all rosemary bushes. I also inherited this from the next door neighbor. This was a rosemary bush that I was growing for a while. It did really, really well for about a year, and then just all of a sudden crapped out. So I probably should have changed added something to the soil maybe. Yeah, some nice flowers that are at the end. This one has little red flowers that come out a couple times a year. Don't know the name of it. Some of our succulent type plants, and more of those over here. So that's the tour, folks. This is the yard, and this is what I got going on. I think that is a Malabar chestnut baby tree. We put a seed in there and it just grew. I don't know, I might give that to 21 degrees if they want to get have the chestnuts, or maybe they don't want to bother with it. I'm not sure. But that's our yard. Hope you liked it. We added this addition on here to the lanai. You see where the bead line is there. And we extended it out a little ways, and my thoughts were to put a covering, attach it there and there, and have the cover run all the way out to here to give more shade for the yard, and to be able to set maybe a fire table out here and just provide a little bit more of a lanai experience, because we don't really have much yard. And now it's starting to do some liquid sunshine right now. So I'll head in, and thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about real estate, really anywhere in the United States, just ask. I'm happy to give you my expertise, benefit of my expertise in real estate. If you know anyone that's thinking about selling their home, or moving and buying a new home, or upgrading to a new home, let me know. Doesn't matter where they live. I'll find them the best agent possible to represent them, and I'll be able to monitor their support. And if that agent or agents they're not servicing you or your friends adequately, I'll know, and I'll be able to either fire them and get a better agent, or provide them some guidance on what to do. So that's the thing about doing a referral. The person who does the referral does have some responsibility in making sure that who you are referring lives up to the expectations of the client. So, and if you're moving to Hawaii, or you know someone that's moving to Hawaii, or someone that's maybe here in Hawaii and getting orders out and needs to sell, or someone moving here is interested in buying. This is the perfect time. The market is getting, as I mentioned earlier, it looks like the market's starting to go flat, and interest rates are still extremely low. If you see interest rates jump up to 4 or 5%, you know that the market's about to crash. And if you can financially afford it, it's a very good time to buy when market drops, because you're going to be able to get homes at a lower price. But also homeowners will tend to just hold on to their home until the market comes back. So you're only going to have an inventory of those homes where people really need to get out of their mortgage, and they don't mind losing a little bit or not making as much as they would have made. So the market will remain probably a little scarce, even when we get into, if the market were to flip-flop. So we anticipate helping a number of people to avoid foreclosing on their homes when the market does crash, by helping them sell their homes, quickly and for as much as they can get, but to get out of the mortgage. So right now we're helping sellers, owners, make the most possible that they can off their investment in a home when they sell, and I'm also helping buyers try to get a really good home at the best price possible. And it's been tough because we've had to deal with a lot of cash buyers, California cash buyers, just buying up homes like crazy. So it's pushing the local folks out of the market. It's a refueler there going right over the house at 7:05 in the morning. Normally they don't come right over the house like that. I'm not sure why that one is. But we see and hear planes going overhead all the time, but rarely is it directly over our houses here. It's usually just off to the side somewhere. But, sound of freedom. Cost of living here. It's 7 a.m., so it's no big deal. I've been up 2 hours already. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. And if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. I'm here to help. Meanwhile, you just have a great aloha day and a shaka to everybody. Mahalo, Phil Laguerre, Remax, Aloha Homes.